Hello, everybody.
Hi.
It's the Tuesday night comic book preview stream. I'm Aaron. This is my good friend Celeste.
Hello.
Celeste, I can't help but notice earlier today, I was
hmm
told that we were going to be doing this stream with our good friend Susie. Um, what happened?
There's been a change of plans. There's been a mix-up.
Well,
But
that's
she'll
okay.
she'll be on later.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
you'll still
take
get
your
to
word
see
for it.
Susie.
Also, if you're looking at the title of this, I think it says the Dragon Ball Superstore Regional. That's not what this is. This is a comic book preview stream. I forgot to change the title. Well, I didn't forget, actually. It was an error on somebody's part, but it's not mine.
Or we can abandon all plans
Oh, you
and
want to
talk
just
about Dragon
you want to
Ball
just
Super for
play?
an
Yeah, we can
hour.
play Dragon Ball on
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
But no, we're going to talk about a bunch of new comics coming out today, and today is or tomorrow, new books coming out Wednesday, and there's a small amount of comics like issues that are coming out. There's like practically nothing in my regular poll, which is good because the last couple of weeks has been everything. But what is coming out tomorrow is there are several giant books, very big omnibuses coming out, and I got a big stack of them right here.
It's like a
It's
stack.
really big. So, I think we're going to forego our normal, like the way we normally start these is with facsimiles. There is an awesome facsimile coming out tomorrow, but we're not going to start with that. We're going to save it for. I got this giant stack of books on the
but
counter.
but we're not doing facsimiles.
We'll get to it, but this is
Okay.
still a reprint of sorts. So a couple of big omnibuses coming out tomorrow that I want to make note of. We're not really going to flip through them because they are shrink wrapped, but one of the ones I really like is Amazing Spider-Man. This is the David Michelini and Eric Larson issues, and that's one of my favorite eras of Spider-Man, actually. This is you can't quite see the whole thing on camera here. One of my absolute favorite covers of Spider-Man is this Venom, just like this close up of his face with
That looks
Spider-Man.
really
It's
cool.
really good. It's like legitimately one of my absolute favorite. Well, it's probably my favorite Venom cover. Definitely one of my favorite Spider-Man covers. And just this is like I said, just one of my favorite eras of Spider-Man. I know a lot of people my age, everybody kind of remembers Todd McFarlane's era of Spider-Man as kind of the peak period, which was Todd McFarlane drew Spider-Man before this series,
I
and then
figured.
Todd McFarlane went on to do his own Spider-Man series, and then he went on to create Spawn. But when Todd McFarlane left Amazing Spider-Man, there was a few issues with different artists, and then Eric Larson became the regular. And I always really liked his version of Spider-Man. I think he just really got Spider-Man. So yeah, if you haven't read this era, this is a solid omnibus to pick up. It's like I can't even count the number of issues on the back
I like
here.
that. Just the
Oh
way they're
yeah,
all spread out.
yeah. The back has like all the covers of every issue that's included. Probably difficult to see through the shrink wrap on camera, but like you can see, there's the Venom cover. Yeah, really good comic. So highly recommend that one. Another omnibus coming out tomorrow. We're getting to get through this
Uh-huh.
stack, Celeste, before we
Uh-huh.
get to the other stuff. Conan the Barbarian by the great Barry Windsor Smith and also Roy Thomas. This is a new version. Marvel, I think Marvel put out an omnibus of this. I can't keep track. I know they were doing the Epic collections for it, but this is that now that Marvel no longer cares about publishing Conan because Conan the Barbarian is in the public domain. Titan Comics is publishing Conan, and they put out this new omnibus. And this is another one, just like classic '70s Conan. There's a great cover by Barry Windsor Smith. Same thing, like all the issues collected on the back. And one of the things I like about this that I wanted to make mention of, I like that Titan is doing the omnibus, but they're doing the logo up similarly to Marvel's like logos. Like they got the red
Oh,
design, and
yeah.
so it's just kind of funny that they're kind of riffing on that a little bit for theirs. So like if you're obsessed about how your books look on the shelf, like to the naked eye, this is going to look very similar next to other Marvel omnibuses,
Yeah.
which I appreciate that they did that because I am somebody that maybe goes a little bit crazy when books are not uniform, especially if it's part of the same series.
I reorganize my bookshelf every now and then because you either do it by like genre, by color, like
Oh yeah, by
yeah,
color.
yeah. You've never
You
seen
do.
that.
You do.
You,
Okay,
it's
I
like
have seen that. Yeah,
yeah.
like in like pictures, but I just assumed that's a thing people did for like memes on the internet or
No, it makes
no.
brain happy. So
Okay, well that I get that.
yeah.
Okay, we got a few more big books coming out tomorrow. Uh, I guess this one here I'm super excited about. Trigun Maximum. This is a little confusing because oh my gosh.
Wait, didn't that already come out?
Right, I know that's what you're thinking. So this book is so big I almost dropped it and
Yeah.
broke the whole thing. This is oh yeah, I gotta adjust this. There we go.
You did break
I
the
did
whole
break
thing.
the whole thing. Yeah, Trigun Maximum #1. It's confusing because the book that came out last month was Trigun #1, and this at a certain point they renamed the series, and so this is a new technically volume 1 of Trigun Maximum, but it is a continuation of the series from the first book. So this is technically the second book in the series. And we talked about
Okay.
Trigun the first time when the first book came out.
Mhm.
I really like it. This is like if you watched the anime, this is like 2/3 of the way through it, I think.
Oh, what?
And of the anime, yeah. And there's 2 more books in the series, so I'm kind of curious. I haven't read the entire manga series. I've read most of the first book, but I have not read the Trigun Maximum stuff. So I'm looking forward to reading this to see how it compares to the animated series, like how well of an adaptation it is. But yeah, so very cool stuff.
Solid.
Yeah.
I like the indentation.
I like these. Yeah, who's it? Dark Horse is just putting out these really nice collected versions. They're like, I think they're leather bound. If not, it's an incredible simulation.
Right.
They got the nice embossing on them and the logo. Yeah, they look really really good. So yeah, good stuff. All right, who's laughing at me in the comments? Okay,
Would you look at that?
I got one more giant.
This is the biggest one.
This
of
is
them
the
all.
biggest one of them all. Yeah, let's go. Hey, Alex and Jess, both of you, welcome. I'm super excited to talk about yeah. There's a lot of new comics. What did you miss? Just some omnibuses that are coming out tomorrow. Spider-Man, Conan the Barbarian, Trigun. The most important omnibus that's coming out tomorrow, of course, is G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, and this is a thick boy. Just look at how big this is.
Of course,
compared
you would
to
say that's the most important.
it is the most look compared to this Trigun. It's like don't worry about it. We're just moving on. Things fall down. It's okay.
Yeah.
So this is for all you GI Joe fans. This is the series that Skybound kickstarted just a few months ago. This is not the book that was in the Kickstarter though. This is the retail version. So if you backed this book on Kickstarter, you're going to get a hardcover version. And I understand we will be getting versions of that for the store as well. But for now, we do have the regular paperback retail version. And this is like the most cost-effective way to read the entire G.I. Joe series. This is $65, but this compendium, as you saw, it's really big. I think it collects...
It's a brick.
It is. It collects 50 issues. So it collects the first 50 issues of G.I. Joe. A lot of great comics. Most importantly, and this is a thing that I complain about a lot when I'm talking about like facsimiles and reprints, is that this book is printed on newsprint. It is not on the normal type of glossy paper that Marvel and even DC when they print their trade paperbacks. This is a really really good looking book, and it really does recreate the exact look of the original issues.
Yeah.
So I
also feel like that would be easier to read in an omnibus.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't actually like a lot of comics. They have that glossy paper, and it creates like a glare when you're looking at it. I mean, it's something that picks up on the camera, but like you can see how nice like this just reads a little bit easier on the camera because there's no glare on it, and like just looks really good. So very excited that this is going to come out. I'm a big G.I. Joe fan. These are all comics that I read a lot as a kid, and I've never actually read the whole series. I'm still kind of collecting all the back issues.
Wait. Let's back up. You haven't read the whole series?
Yeah, there's 155 issues.
Yeah, but I thought you were like the G.I. Joe guy.
I mean, I never made that claim. I just said I had an
Okay.
unhealthy fascination with it.
Solid.
I had about 20 20 issues as when I was a kid that I read a lot. I had like a run. So 20 issues, that's like 2 years. When you're a kid, that's like a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it went on for, like I said, 155 issues until it was canceled and then revived several years later. And now the current series that I'm talking about, they're past 300 with the same writer, Larry Hama, same guy that
Wait,
created.
are you caught up on that one?
Uh,
Or
no. There's
okay.
like 300 issues of Larry Hama's GI Joe, 310 now.
What do you do? Catch up,
I'm
man.
working on it. I'm buying the issues as I find them
Yeah.
at the flea market. But this is the opportunity to read it all straight through though. This GI Joe compendium. So very cool. Glad that has come out.
Mhm.
All right, let's move on. Let's stop talking about all of my junk and stuff that I'm excited for. What's something that you want to show off that's coming
We're
out
just
tomorrow?
gonna start with my favorite.
Ooh,
Cat People.
Cat People.
So this one is a comic collection by Hannah Hillman.
Is that who is that? Is that's not the Sarah Scribbles girl, right?
No,
Somebody else.
because that's Sarah
Okay,
Scribbles.
this is another like okay, I recognize her art. I see it get shared a
Yeah,
lot
I've seen
on
it
social
before,
media.
but this little collection is so cute because the people
Halloween.
are cats, and then
Okay.
the cats are people. Like the roles are reversed. Does that make sense?
Okay,
It's so
yeah,
cute.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. So this might actually
it's
be
like a
my
giant cat
pick of the
and-
week. Yeah,
Yeah, a little person on the couch. Okay,
yeah.
I might
Just
have to
nice,
give this
cute
a
little
read.
shorts. Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy that one.
She put cones on her hands.
It's so very classic, like cat stuff, but then it's all just the humans doing that.
Yeah, that's the.
Like at some point there's a cat just trying to go to the bathroom and the humans just crawling all over them. Yeah.
She's still a little shy. She's under her box. And they just pull her out and start like poking at her, and yeah, that's what I do to my cats. All right.
Yeah. Not mine. Toothless is very social. Yeah. Very friendly. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's cute. That's a cute book.
If you're a cat person, you're gonna love it.
Well, we are cat people.
I think most people at the store are.
I think so. Yeah.
If not, they're very much dog people.
I think there's a lot of. Oh yeah, that's right. It's
Yeah.
it's one or the other. It's especially Maggie, my cat Maggie. Yes, I do that when I can get my hands on her. She's always running away from me.
Just pulling her down from the ceiling.
Yeah, no, that's Jack. Jack's the one that's in the ceiling. It's difficult.
Okay.
I understand. It's difficult to keep track of all my cats.
Yeah,
but,
how many cats do you have? That's.
I've got.
Let's see. Let's count.
More than 5.
Oh, more. You
Less
got
than
6.
7. I have less than 7 cats. That's normal.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Let's moving on. We don't have to talk about cats. Gosh, I don't even know. What do you want to talk? You want to talk about like some new issues that are coming out tomorrow?
Yeah. Let's do that.
You know what? It's facsimile time.
Finally.
Yes. I know I
Yes.
kept you all waiting. Tomorrow, it's actually a really good facsimile. Not any of the normal stuff that I'm tired of talking about. This is a facsimile reprint of Batman number 237. This is a classic issue by Neil Adams and writer Denny O'Neil. This is like from the peak period of Batman, and this is also a Halloween themed issue. And I really like this. They go to a superhero costume party. It's some kind of weird party, but there's like a float here with superheroes on it, like with clearly people in superhero costumes.
Yeah.
And they snuck in a little Captain America there. This is a DC Comics
That's
Celeste.
really
I don't know if you're aware.
Yeah, no, I caught on to that.
Yeah, so they snuck in. Yeah, there's a little Captain America. There's another part where they're at a party and you see a guy in a Thor and a Spider-Man costume. Yeah, there you go. There's a guy Thor and Spider-Man at this costume party.
That's a lot of fun, actually.
It's fun because there's a murder at this costume party and Batman goes and he's just in costume and everybody's like, cool Batman costume.
He's like, no.
No, he's playing it cool. He's undercover. He's like yeah, the guy's like, wow, you got muscles too. And he goes, thanks, I exercise a lot. He's got to find the murderer. And also there's this weird guy in a Grim Reaper costume But yeah, superhero costume party, so they went as themselves. Exactly, yeah. Batman goes as himself to the superhero costume party to find this murderer.
But I feel like that would be the best time to dress up as somebody else.
Well, the catch to it is the person that gets murdered is dressed up in a Batman costume. So, and then also there's a guy dressed as Robin who gets beat up. So they're trying to solve this mystery that Batman is racked with guilt that this person.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a lot of it's a pretty hardcore issue. Like this guy gets murdered because he's wearing a Batman costume, and so Batman feels really bad about it. There's also kind of a funny joke here. I just want to highlight because again, this was in the '70s, so they had to be a little careful about the content they put in the issue. But there's this guy who's clearly supposed to be like a stoned out hippie, and he's like looking at this float, and he's got like a dialogue of like I've never gotten into floats before. And he's like, I wonder why they called floats. And then like later on, he's like, say man, do you dig those out of sight floats?
Wow.
And there's a part later where he sees a flashing light, and he's like, man, that blinking red light on top of the house is cool, almost as cool as floats.
It just keeps coming back.
Just keeps coming back.
Oh
he's like
God.
really into these floats for some reason. And do you dig floats? Oh. So I got quite a laugh out of that as well. So yeah, really good comic. Highly recommend this. It's genuinely really good, but also it's a little kitschy because it's from the '70s. Yeah. But a fantastic, amazing art by Denny O'Neil. Good writing by Denny, and a fantastic art by Neil Adams.
I think I'm interested in reading that one, which doesn't happen too often. I recommend with older comics.
It has it's like now that we're just talking about older comics, it's like a what would you call this? Like oldception, because this is a reprint of a comic from the '70s, which itself also reprints a comic from the '40s.
Oh, what?
It has an old Golden Age Batman comic in it as well.
See, that I probably wouldn't read.
You probably wouldn't get as much. Admittedly, you probably wouldn't get as much out of this. I love reading Golden Age Batman, but it's definitely something that I think there's a difference between Golden Age and Silver and Bronze Age, and I think the farther back you go, the less interesting it is for, well, shall we say, normies, like regular people. But I think
I can appreciate it from afar.
From afar, exactly. That's fair. Yeah. But I think you could genuinely enjoy the main story, the Neil Adams story. It's really good. All right. Let's just briefly rush through a few of the books that's in my regular pulls, just to keep you up to date. If you aren't paying attention, Transformers comes out tomorrow, and this comic is awesome. Look at this cool cover with Starscream.
That's insane.
As you remember, Soundwave blasted Starscream away, and he was left for dead, but boom, looks like maybe he's not.
Why does that look like acid rain? Or is he just real beat up?
he's real beat up from getting murdered, from getting blasted. But yeah, another book, just awesome. Every issue just has like cool stuff in it. I love this comic. I can't tell you enough how much I am enjoying it. Yes, I agree, Alex. It really is the best book going right now. Also comes out tomorrow, Scarlet, which is part of the Energon Universe G.I. Joe series. You know what? I'm going to go a little bit against character here and say I've been kind of avoiding talking about this.
Okay.
I do not like this series all that much. I'm very disappointed because I'm gushing about... was that the Metroplex? I haven't actually read the issue, so I don't want to spoil myself for it. But... I think it probably was. I can't keep track of all the different Transformers like building sets. But yeah, no, like Scarlet, I have to say I wasn't totally feeling it. And
was it like it's fine?
So it actually kind of gets a little. I'm not even prepared to give this an it's fine. I think this story was very thin. It did not need to be 5 issues for what it was. And I think like I could sum it up simply by saying, so like this is so difficult to explain to you, Celeste, but Storm Shadow is in it and Scarlet is in it, and the main character that's like the guy that ties these two characters together in the original series is named Snake Eyes, and he's not in this comic. Spoiler alert. I kind of was
Okay.
reading it waiting for Snake Eyes to show up, and he's definitely not in it. So this feels kind of like a Snake Eyes story without Snake Eyes. And it's maybe a little bit of a
Is
like,
it supposed to be like a spin-off of like the side characters, sort of?
yeah, they're setting up for the new GI Joe series that's a part of the Energon universe. This is a
Okay.
GI Joe book that takes place in the same continuity as the Transformers series,
Yeah.
along with like Duke and Destro and Cobra Commander, which
Yeah.
we've all talked about those. But yeah, this one they're just all kind of setting up the Arashikage clan, which is the clan that Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow belong to, and I get it's like it feels like it's a little bit of a like a what's the phrase, like a subversion of expectations. Like you have this series normally, this is the type of story that would be told about Snake Eyes, but they're subverting our expectations by making Scarlet the main character. And I like Scarlet a lot as a character, but this story just felt a little weird to me because it just the whole time I'm just like, this should be Snake Eyes. Like I just don't care about like Scarlet. It's kind of about her relationship with another character, Jinx, who
Okay.
is like they're really cool characters, but it does feel strange that they're kind of like launching into their story without the foundation for the whole clan Arashikage, in my opinion, which is Snake Eyes. So it's we'll see. Maybe they're just like waiting and they're gonna have this like epic
Yeah, maybe it'll
like
kick off later.
reveal.
Wait, is that the last
This is
issue?
the last. This is the last
Okay,
issue. Yeah.
well,
So he's not going to show
yeah,
up in Scarlet,
another story
but
will
I
come
don't
out
think they
that.
don't have him set to be in the new GI Joe series either. So I think they're kind of like waiting, similar to how in the Transformers series, Megatron's not really in it. Like he's referred to and he's like in flashback, but in the current Transformers series, Megatron is dead, and I think there's probably going to be a similar thing in GI Joe where like they're gonna like Snake Eyes is just not in it, but they're gonna wait for that right moment to bring him in and really rock my world, as it were.
Okay.
So we will see, but I know I'm pretty positive about all the GI Joe stuff, and I just want it on record. It doesn't all work for me 100%, but overall, for the most part, most of it's been really really good.
Nice.
All right. After that downer, let's see. I want to hear you talk positively about something.
We'll do Precious Metal.
Oh, you've been keeping up with that?
Yeah, I have.
Oh,
I don't
excellent.
remember the last time I talked about it.
This issue 5. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which I haven't read this one yet.
Okay.
But as far as just keeping up
that
with
is a
what's in my bowl.
Cool cover.
Right? Not just the cover. Every single page of this comic kind of blows me away. Like it is so beautiful.
I love the art.
Yeah. It's that I don't even know what to call it. It's trippy art style.
It is. It reminds me a lot of the artist James Stokoe, who I'm a big fan of.
Okay. But yeah, the story is
a little Raphael
told.
Grandpa in there as well. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, all good. But it's all kind of about this guy. He's our main character.
Oh,
if you want to
get
show him a little,
in frame. Yeah.
And it revolves around him and this other kid who has like all these magical abilities / superpowers.
Mhm.
They were like experimented on, and so everyone's trying to get their hands on this kid. Oh hey, there's the kid.
There's the kid, and he
in a
looks
real
a
bad
creepy.
way.
Yeah.
Oh no. I feel like I should look away because spoilers.
Well, we don't want.
I highly suggest this comic, not just for the art style, but the story itself. It can be a little vague at times, a little bit like artsy, but I like that.
A little bit artsy.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a comic book,
Well, like besides
art.
the art, like
I know what you mean. Like a little surreal in its storytelling.
Yes,
a little.
thank you.
Yeah. I get you.
That's why you're here.
That's what it looks like. I haven't read it, but I like Alex. I'm also waiting for the trade. It looks great. I do really want to read it.
Which, if you're waiting for the trade, in the meantime, you could read Little Bird because that's the prequel.
I know. I need to read that too, and that's
so good. I think I like Little Bird a little bit better than this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So far, you haven't read issue 5 yet, so yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But no, it looks great. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about. I got a few things here. Let's talk about probably the biggest book that's going to come out tomorrow. That, of course, is Absolute Batman. I know a lot of people are pretty excited about this.
Yeah. I like how you say the biggest book, and I'm like, I don't read any Batman.
Yeah, I mean, superheroes still sell well. Like
Yeah.
so it's like there's going to be a lot of people that are buying their weekly comics, and Absolute Batman definitely of the Marvel and DC books. This is definitely the most highly anticipated for sure. Actually, Marvel isn't putting out much of anything tomorrow, but yeah.
We got a Spider-Man that I'm going to
Oh, we
talk
do.
about.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. And I have one other random X-Men book that I might talk about. But
Okay.
Absolute Batman, I know, is the one that people are most excited for. So I did read this today, and it's pretty solid. I This is one of those things that's going to be difficult for me to talk about because to me, I'm just reading this as you're fine, as like an Elseworld story, and it's pretty good. I don't always love Scott Snyder. I think a lot of times what he does is a little too cute. But
What do you mean by cute? This is cute to you?
no, no, the art. So the art is by Nick Dragata, and I really like the look of this book. It looks really good.
Okay.
I just mean like elements in the story are too cute, and
Because it's Batman. It's
it's-
supposed to be like dark and gritty and
right.
it's too cute.
Just like some just like creative decisions that are made. Aaron
Okay.
likes an alternate universe book. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to really continue to follow it. There's a final page review there's a final page reveal that kind of made me roll my eyes. I'll admit, where I was just like, oh, and I can't talk. That's exactly what I mean when I say this book is too cute, but I can't talk about it without spoiling it, so I'm not going to.
Okay.
But I did like that the whole story is told from Alfred's point of view.
Oh, wait,
And,
really?
Yeah. And so he's like in
The-
Gotham.
This comic or the whole?
This issue.
Okay,
This
okay,
this
yeah.
whole issue is told from Alfred's point of view. And in this setting, Alfred is like some kind of CIA special agent, which
No, what?
which tracks with the original version of Alfred. He was like ex MI6, and I'm not going to spoil anything, Alex. Don't worry about that. But the art looks great. It's an interesting setup. It's it's a little bit of a twist on the classic Batman story. There's several things that are it's like I don't want to like spoil anything.
Is that why you aren't turning the page past the first page?
Pretty
It's 'cause
much,
spoilers.
yeah. I just don't want to I don't want to spoil too much of anything.
That makes sense.
But like it looks really good. I like I said, I like Nick Dragata's art a lot, and he draws a cool Batman. And this is definitely it's kind of funny. I feel like so one of the things that happens in the store is that this comic is written by a Mr. Scott Snyder. And as we all know, the now old DC movies were all directed by a Mr. Zack Snyder. And so there is a term called the Snyder Bros, which are the people that like the Justice League movie and the Man of Steel movie, and they want Zack Snyder to return to make DC movies. I feel like this is a comic that will appeal to the Snyder Bros, both kinds, the Scott Snyder Bros and the Zack Snyder Bros. So I will say I didn't love it, but do you have to buy any of the Jim Lee variants? Oh, do you have any of the Jim Lee variants? I'll have to double check the shelf. I believe we do. Oh no, does he kill? Well, I mean, I don't know if you want me to spoil that. I won't. I will say that he does embody like classic ideals of Batman. So unlike the Zack Snyder movies, so I don't want to spoil, but
sounds like we know the answer.
Yes, Alex. I'll check for the Jim Lee covers and I'll set one aside for you. All right. I think it's like I can't. This is one of those books where I feel like I could talk a lot about it, but I don't want to because I don't want to spoil it. So there's definitely like if you're hyped for this book, I think you're really gonna like it. Let's just move on. We're talking about some Marvel books. You got a Spider-Man book here.
Spider-Man, Black Suit and Blood.
Words are hard,
there we
Alex.
go.
It's true.
Yeah, so I'm really liking this comic. It's a bunch of short stories. Like every issue that's coming out has 3, maybe 4 short stories in it.
Yes,
so I appreciate that.
We talked about issue 1 when it came out. Is this issue 3?
Yeah. Took a while to get here, but
I was going to say that was quite a little while ago.
Right?
I'm just checking to see I haven't flipped through this issue yet.
Mm-hmm.
You got I don't recognize most of these names. Al Ewing, I like him as a writer. Leonardo Romero. That's oh man, Leonardo Romero's got a story in here.
Wait,
Uh,
which one's that?
he's
There were
the
only 3.
he's the third story. So
Okay.
that's that's the Al Ewing story. I like Al Ewing. Um, I guess
Okay.
I'm a
I
little
liked
worried
the
about
third
spoiling things.
story.
You liked the third story?
Yeah,
Man,
that was this
that's
one. It's
yeah.
all about him and Mysterio. That's the
Leonardo.
whole short story.
Okay, that's cool. No, Leonardo Romero is the guy who illustrated the first 6 issues of the Birds of Prey series that was earlier this year, I think. Yeah, that I really
Okay.
liked. He's a really great artist. I really like
Yeah.
him. Yeah,
I like the
this
spread
looks
that's going
good.
on. Yeah, even the next page too, the way it's like all spread out.
Yeah. Oh man.
Without
Yeah.
doing too much spoilers.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And the next page after, but let's not.
We don't have
Let's
to.
not show the whole
Yeah.
short story.
I don't want to.
Yeah. But I've been liking the series. I don't mind that it takes a while for each issue to come out because they are individuals.
Mhm.
So I'm not like trying to remember what happened.
Yeah, there's not like an
last.
ongoing story between them all. It's
Yeah.
it's just short stories. Yeah, they usually got. I mean, it's like a lot of these anthologies. They always do a great job of like having at least one creator that somebody like me will like really want. In this issue, it's Leonardo Romero.
Mhm.
In the first issue, they had a story written by David Michelini, who's the original creator of Venom and wrote Spider-Man. He wrote during the omnibus that I talked about earlier, the Eric Larson. That's him. He was writing it back in the 80s and 90s. And so I really liked that short story in the first issue. And yeah, the short story in this one by Leonardo Romero just looks really good. So I'm definitely going to have to read that.
It does. I think that was my favorite artwork too.
Yeah.
Was that last story?
Yeah. I mean, he's really good.
Yeah. The first one was a jump scare for me because they have a character named Cece, and that's
oh my
nickname.
gosh, that's
and
your
so
nickname.
Every single time it came up, I was like,
Stop saying my name.
I don't normally hear it. It's not like my name's John or something where it comes up all the time.
Yeah, you just hear it all the time.
Yeah. So
that's pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that weird pose
makes me laugh every single time I see it.
I mean, Spider-Man, he's known for having weird poses, but like the way he's drawn here, it's like he doesn't have a butt.
No, it's very flat. Which isn't he known for having like a little bit? I mean,
he's
got a little.
He's got a little bit, but he's no Nightwing. I guess we could say that's
true.
what Nightwing is known for. All right. We'll continue with the Marvel stuff that's releasing tomorrow. There's a new #1, Sentinels #1, and Tom Brevoort, editor of the X-Men line at Marvel, he's keeping to his word that he's going to release a new X-Men book every month. And I decided to flip through this, and I got a little bored, but.
Really?
The one thing I will say is that I think the art in this is pretty good. This is illustrated by Federico Blee, and I think that this is a cut above the average Marvel comic book. So good on them. I think it looks pretty good. There's a villain in it, Omega Red. He's one of those cool Wolverine villains who, unfortunately, he gets trotted out a lot to like get killed to show how tough other people are. It's like he's one of those like C-list villains, but he's very important to Wolverine's history, and because he's a cool villain with a cool design. He was designed by Jim Lee. Just while we're talking about Jim
wild.
Lee, yeah, he's got
like
he's got
the way
tentacles.
It's all drawn too is insane.
It looks good. Yeah, I was pretty happy with the art in this. I'll be honest. It's like I said, it's a cut above the standard Marvel thing. There's like an interesting take where it's like all these it's like a mutant hunting team, and they've kind of integrated with Sentinel technology.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's like a little bit of a body horror element to it. They're like a secret covert ops team. And then the final page, there's a final page reveal that also made me roll my eyes, but in a different way than the Absolute Batman did. Because the final page reveal on this, I had uncomfortable flashbacks to reading comics in the 90s. I can't say this again. I can't talk about it without spoiling it, but man, it was a dark period. It was a dark period in the X-Men's history, and I just got a little shudder like looking at that final page. So I admittedly am probably gonna at least keep up with a few issues out of like morbid curiosity to see where it goes.
See, that's my problem. If I pick up in issue 1, the chances of me reading the whole series, even if I don't really like it, is
Yeah.
very high.
You just got
I'm
you're
like, I
hooked. You
just
just got to
yeah,
go. Just see what happens,
I'm
even if it's not
curious.
good.
I
I
don't
need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What else do you have here?
Just a couple that are in my poll to run through.
Okay.
Because again, I didn't know I was gonna be doing this
That's
stream today.
That's true.
So I read one comic.
Mm-hmm.
So this one coming out, I Heart Skull Crusher. She's back.
Oh, is this a new issue? Yeah, issue
well,
6.
it's issue 6, which I thought
I thought
that the
5.
last of the run, yeah, because it said 5 of 5.
Yeah.
So
Oh, nice.
they sort of wrapped it up in a nice way on the last issue. While still leaving it open to continue, and we knew it would be coming back, and
still
it's
that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So this arguably is one of my favorite series that's been coming out like all year.
Mm-hmm.
Something about it is just really fun. I hope they do make an like animated show of it at some point.
Yeah.
I would love that. But yeah, because not all my friends read comics either. So I'm like, if they made a show, that my friends will know what's going on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, finally get them clued in.
See, I got no one to talk about it with.
Yeah.
Please, chat, read it. Come into the store, talk with me about I Heart Skull's Crusher. Please.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
cool. All right, and then what's the other one you have
one.
here? I didn't get a chance to read this today.
Minor
Arcana.
Yeah,
I read issue 1 and I really liked it.
Right? Me
it was
too.
pretty good. Did you get a chance to read this one yet?
Nope.
Okay, so we're just gonna briefly show it off, and
just a suggestion of you should pick it up if you haven't already.
We are gonna recommend.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna recommend this issue based purely on the strength of the first issue.
Yes.
Yeah, because I just didn't have time to get to this one today. But
also on the previous works by this like artist
by Jeff Lemire.
Yeah,
he did Fish Flies, which was his last book. He's done so many books. He's done a lot of stuff.
And I like that you can recognize the art style right away.
Oh yeah, he's got a very distinct style. All this like watercolors, and I just like the way he draws figures.
Very angular.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, he's not going for like a photorealism look, which I really appreciate because I wish more comics would do that. Instead of like, I don't know, just too many people are trying to make it look real, and then it looks just really bad.
Get more artsy with it.
Exactly, get more artsy with it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right.
That's well, we can't say too much about it because we haven't read it, but definitely do recommend Minor Arcana. I guess we should say what the story kind of was from the first issue. The main character is her mom is like a local town tarot reader. Like she's into the
like
arcane,
a little witchy
witchy woman. Yeah. And she's in a bad way. She's got a terminal illness.
And
so
her daughter kind of hates her.
Yeah,
like
they have
left
a
town,
strained relationship.
Yeah.
So she comes back to her small town to try and reconnect with her mom. Meanwhile, she might accidentally be forced to take over the family business, which is totally not real. It's all fake until perhaps maybe magic is real.
Yeah, she's got a little bit of magic. I think she's a psychic.
You think she's a psychic?
Yeah,
okay.
Just a little bit.
All right, I've got one other issue that I'm excited to talk about, and that is The Toxic Avenger. Yeah, this is a new issue from Ahoy Comics. Celeste, are you a big Toxic Avenger fan?
I have no idea what that is.
This is The Toxic Avenger.
What?
So this was, The Toxic Avenger was a low-budget B movie from I want to say 1990. It's somewhere in like late 80s, early 90s. I can't remember the exact year.
What is that getup?
He's the Toxic Avenger.
Sure.
He wears a tutu. And it's a comedy, first of all. And
I think I could tell.
So the movie, it's kind of just like a riff on, not specifically the X-Men, but the idea that like being exposed to radiation and toxic waste would give you superpowers, when in reality it would turn you into some kind of monster mutant freak and kill you, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the twist. It's like it's kind of a parody of, it's a comedy, like I said. So it's a satire of superhero comics, but it's also like low budget trash cinema, which it has its certain charm. But so yeah, the main character, Toxie, he's the Toxic Avenger. He becomes a superhero after he gets exposed to radiation and becomes a mutant monster. And there's all these other people that also have mutant problems. But yeah, so it's a new story, just set in the like the Toxic Avenger continuity, and it's pretty good. It's really funny. There's a lot of satire of current events, you could say, with the people not trusting the politicians that are supposed to be in charge of keeping the environment clean.
Oh,
There's
he's like
always
huge.
yeah, he's huge. So
Okay.
he's like kind of turns into this like Hulk type of. He is a
Yeah.
superhero. He's like super strong, but he's also kind of crazy and like I said, the toxic radiation messed him up. So yeah, just like really good comic. If you haven't seen the movies, I recommend watching the movies. There are a lot of like really cheesy fun, classic. The studio that made us Troma, and they just made a lot of like straight to video trash movies is what you would call them. It's where a certain Mr. James Gunn got his start, and now he's making Guardians of the Galaxy movies and the new DC universe. He's heading the new DC universe. He got his start at Troma. I don't remember specifically if he had anything to do with the Toxic Avenger films, but like that studio that made these types of movies, that's where he got his start.
Nice.
Yeah,
See,
so
I'm glad you grabbed that one because I completely missed it on the
yeah,
wall.
no, it's a good
Yeah.
comic. It's funny. I like quirky, weird superhero stuff, and this isn't strictly superhero, but it's riffing with a lot of what would you call it? The tropes, like superhero tropes, you know.
Yeah. See, I tend to sway that way a little bit more usually.
I haven't read Autumn Kingdom 2, Alex. No, I didn't get a chance to flip through it all, but I really liked the first issue when we talked about it. But yeah, I you know what? That's another one like Minor Arcana. I recommend it based purely on the first issue, though I haven't read it yet. But yeah, I do also recommend Toxic Avenger. I really enjoyed that. Okay, we got one other thing here that you want to maybe talk about, and then maybe we'll go get our special guest that promised she was going to be here and then ditched us.
Yeah, I'll go grab her after this.
All right, what do you got here?
The official Westeros cookbook. So if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, if you like cooking, this is coming out tomorrow.
Okay, Westeros, huh?
Yeah.
I've never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones.
How dare you?
I never watched it. I don't care.
So we're gonna binge through Game of Thrones. That's what's happening.
That's what's happening. Okay.
Yeah, except the last season is kind of we don't need it.
That's what I hear. See, the last season came out and everybody said this was terrible. It was a waste of my time, and I said, see, I knew it would be bad. That's why I never started it.
Well, like it's not like
you think it was fine. Thank you. I probably would.
It wasn't like a waste. It's still like
the good stuff
other
is good.
Seasons are still really good.
So we got the Westeros cookbook, and this is we got a lot of these like themed cookbooks where they're just like fun recipes for stuff vaguely themed around stuff from the show.
Mm-hmm. We got tons of cookbooks actually.
Poached pears. Those pears are red.
Wait, can pears be red?
I don't know. I thought they were green.
Maybe they're like soaked in wine or something.
That's probably what it is. They're skinned and soaked in wine, I'm guessing. Yeah, yeah, that's neat. Milk of the poppy. What does that mean? You don't know? You don't know, or you don't want to say?
It's been a while since I've seen Game of Thrones.
It was excellent. Otherwise, they torched the legacy with the last 3 episodes. Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I hear. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I can't choose a favorite character.
Winterfell bread pudding.
But yeah, it just looks like good food. It's
bowl
nice
of brown.
and solid.
That actually looks delicious. I love a good stew and a bread bowl, no less. But I can't eat that. I'm not doing carbs at the moment. So
cheat day.
It makes you a little eepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll save that. I'll save the bowl of brown for my cheat day.
I like these sort of cookbooks where they feel a lot more like real food. Also, like The Witcher is one of them. Like Heroes Feast by D&D. So I tend to like those ones a lot more than these like weird random ones where you have to go out and get this insane ingredient somewhere.
Yeah, there's some where it's like it's ingredients that you would never have and possibly not be able to find to make like a little, not even a meal, you know, just like a little treat. Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing where you spend hours making this thing and then it's gone in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I normally don't like cooking, but something like this where it seems like they're going to be quick and easy for a lot of these.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jezebel says milk of the poppy makes you a little eepy. You remember that? Does that ring any bells?
No.
No, nothing. Okay, well, I'll take your recommendation very seriously to watch it.
Yay.
Okay. All right. You go grab Susie. I got one more book I'm going to talk about. There's a trade paperback coming out tomorrow. There is another collected edition coming out tomorrow called Paying for It. And this is a really good graphic novel. This came out, I want to say 15 years ago. I think it was about 2010. This is by Chester Brown, who is an indie comic book creator. And this is his autobiographical comic about his... poppy equals opium. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, poppies. Just like in the Wizard of Oz. Poppies makes them sleep. And then they all got like asbestos poisoning or something. Anyway, this book, Paying for It, a comic strip memoir about being a John. This is an autobio comic from Chester Brown where it's basically just about how he gave up trying to get into romantic relationships because they just never worked for him, and he just started regularly visiting prostitutes. And then he gets into weird relationships from there as well. So this is one of those books that, oh my God, Susie, you look so strange. You look different than I remember. Okay, well, I think the real Susie is about to make her appearance.
The third Susie of the day.
All right, here's your microphone. Put that on. We were just in the middle of talking about Paying for It.
Ooh.
Do you know anything about this book, Susie? I don't remember if you looked at it.
I'm not familiar with it. I saw it, but...
So this is by Chester Brown, and it's an autobio comic about him deciding to give up being in romantic relationships and just start visiting prostitutes.
Oh.
And I have to be very careful about pages that I show because it's pretty graphic, even though the art style itself is very like simplified. I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera here, but it's very simple characters, but it's a really, 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 really good book. I've talked before about autobiographical comics and how much I really, really like them, but also sometimes it gets a little weird because it can feel voyeuristic where like the cartoonist is just putting their life out on the page. Yes. And it's a brave thing to do, but also there's a certain point where I'm just like,
put a bit less.
Maybe hold some of that back, save it and put it into a narrative, and then maybe I won't be thinking about you specifically being a weirdo. Although I like Chester Brown's comics and I like his arts. They are weird, and so yeah. But this is definitely, like I said, it's about him giving up on relationships and visiting prostitutes. But then weirdly, a strange kind of relationship blossoms out of that. And it talks a lot about like monogamy and polyamory. He like at one point he's in like a polyamorous relationship, and it's very, very, very different. But it recently got adapted into a movie. So this is this is the 2024 the film edition. I think you can see on the spine here that this is the film edition. And so this has a bunch of new material in it that wasn't in the original version. It's got, actually, I think I can show that because it's all just like writings from him. Oh, yes. Oh, I thought you were going to...
I don't know how to do it without a mouse. I thought you were going to...
I'm on it. It's in the back here, you can just see there's like paragraphs and paragraphs of him writing just annotations, notes. There's where I left off, where I was reading, just talking about the experience like with the movie and kind of differences and just all kinds of good stuff. So I really, 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 really like this book. I do recommend it. If you like weird offbeat comics from weird offbeat cartoonists, yes, can't go wrong. Okay, Susie, I'm so glad you're here because I ran out of books to talk about.
No kidding, out of that whole stack.
That giant stack. Well, to be fair, 3 of them were like this big. They were huge omnibuses. But so what do you got? What do you got for me?
Gotcha. So I was thinking, well, first, I have to say, I didn't have time to read comics today. There's a lot of
It was a busy day today.
craziness happening.
I don't like to like pull back the curtain and talk about the operations of the store
The behind
or
the scenes.
complain on camera. So that's
You
where
don't like to
I
complain
don't-
on camera.
don't like to not about my bosses. I'll complain about you and Celeste all day, but you know. So that's we didn't maybe get as much reading done as we would have
Right.
liked, but you know.
I will say what I'm interested in this week, though. Like that will be my big thing.
That's fair. That's fair.
So first, I don't know a crazy amount about this book, but it is a Magic the Gathering based manga
Oh yeah.
that I thought sounded really cool. And I've heard it actually comes with a trading card game, so that like a trading card in the book itself.
That's correct. Yeah.
So I wish I unwrapped it before I came on the stream.
That's
But
okay.
There is a card in here.
Let's put the cover on. Let's put the cover
downward
here.
cam?
Yeah, on the downward cam. Yeah, look at it. Destroy all humans. They can't be regenerated. Okay, I love that this is the new trend in like manga. Is the title is like a full sentence.
Yes.
You know,
It's almost like all the Disney movies are just like one word. Like Frozen,
yes.
Tangled, and then manga went
goes
the other
complete
direction.
opposite direction. Yeah, but yeah, this book does come with a unique Magic the Gathering card, and the story is about Magic the Gathering, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Um,
I almost get vibes of like the Yu-Gi-Oh manga or anime, but for Magic the Gathering. That's
Yeah.
almost what I gathered from like reading all the descriptions and.
Wow, they're turning Magic the Gathering into an anime. Is there nothing they won't do? Well, if you were
to the Shadow Realm.
if you would have watched my stream from last week, we would have talked about the manga that was a biography of Charles Schultz.
Oh man!
If there's one guy I never expected to see illustrated in a manga style, it's Charles Schultz, the creator of
it was
Peanuts.
a manga version.
It was
of
a manga,
too?
which, by the way, just shout out a great pumpkin shirt that I'm wearing. Charles Schultz, bringing it all together.
Our owner was very jealous that he
I don't-
already acquired
I don't want to flex too much,
the
but
drip.
I 100% flexed on him by wearing this shirt.
Got that
Um,
skibbity riz.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Yes, Alex, we did. We ordered several of these because
Yes.
we had a feeling they might be pretty popular. I mean, you know, Magic the Gathering card, a
Yes.
unique card with the comic,
There's
like,
girls.
and there's girls in it. Yes, so yeah, very excited that this is coming out. It's shrink wrap, so I can't read it right now, but I'm
I
very
know.
tempted to.
And it's funny because if you go up to the counter with that without any context, it's like, why are you buying shrink wrap?
Most of the shrink wrapped manga. Most of the shrink wrapped manga we get, it's because it is inappropriate for minors. That's not the case with this. It's just shrink
Yes.
wrapped so you can't take the card out of it.
From what I've gathered, I believe it's about them playing the card game as opposed to like the actual like lore in Magic the Gathering. Like I don't think you'll see anything about like planeswalkers or anything. It really does sound like a Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah,
variant.
the paragraph on the back talks about a middle school student who goes to a game store that he's been hearing about and gets kind of sucked up into the world of playing Magic the Gathering. So it's not a fantasy story where like in the MTG universe. It's literally about the game Magic, like kids playing Magic.
Playing it.
Yeah. So, and you know what? I like it. That sounds ripe, honestly, for like a shonen type.
Oh yeah.
Like manga. You know, lots of little character slice of life stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
the
We'll
whole
see if
thing.
they have like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Like hologram monsters that appear as they're playing it.
That's right.
You can tell I never played Magic either.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. This show. Yeah, you're right, Alex. This show has jumped the shark.
I'm sure they bring up the crippling
the
debt
crippling
at some
debt.
point.
Yeah, it has to. I'll be disappointed if they don't.
Right.
Uh,
So our next
all right,
one
what else you got?
that we're going to be talking about, well, I guess I'll just say real quick, like this we should say for last.
Okay.
But this
okay.
one I'll just say real quick. I was really excited about it. Is Best of Rick and Morty collection. Trying not to get the glare.
Well, let's
but
put it on the downward cam.
yeah,
And really show it off. You know, this I don't talk about Rick and Morty a lot, but when I do, I talk about the art style and how much I hate it. But there's just something about this. This is a slipcase cover for these
Yes.
3 books, the best of Rick and Morty, and there's just something about this cover. I gotta say, I don't say this often, but I don't totally hate this. I can't figure out why though. That's strange to
is
me.
that for me to enlighten the audience?
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you have something you wanted to add to that?
I drew the.
Oh,
slipcase.
this cover is illustrated by our very own Susie Blake. This is
Yes.
her artwork. Well, that's
What?
awesome. Yeah, you illustrated the whole slipcase for the Best of Rick and Morty.
Yes, it was my first time doing a wraparound, so that was really fun.
Oh,
and
very
then
cool.
designing just like the top and bottom like flaps.
Oh yeah. No, that's awesome. And this is just like the books. It comes with 3 books, and it's like
each character. So like this
oh,
is
okay,
the best of like
Beth and Jerry. Okay.
So it's kind of like a collection of like the best stories.
Yeah, so it's
kind
of like an anthology, but it's 3 trade paperbacks: Best of Rick and Morty, Best of Summer, Best of Beth and Jerry.
Yes, and I will say there's some great stories in there as well, like amazing, talented artists like Phil Murphy, who works on like Lower Decks and stuff like that.
Very cool.
And Kyle Starks is a phenomenal writer. He's been killing it on the Peacemaker series.
Kyle Starks.
I love him.
We got a lot of Kyle Starks fans in the audience today.
Yes.
I think.
So he's definitely up there in like one of the top like Rick and Morty like writers, and so recommend that.
Kyle Starks wrote the Lobo comic that came out last week that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, he's just been killing it.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's funny. Yes. So congratulations to you, Susie. This is awesome. So everybody should. Is this available for purchase?
I'm sure you could request it.
Well, I actually wasn't sure if we had it in the store or if you just brought it in to show it off.
I requested this one, so we were able to get it through the store.
Okay.
So here's the funny thing with how somebody orders the books here is that if I draw it, I have to special request it and get it 2 weeks later. But if their spouse happens to draw a book,
we get it instantly.
45 copies.
Well, no, we're not naming names on that one.
We're not, no. But I will say, this book, I've been following the progress on it for the past
What book
year.
is this?
This book is called Side Quest. It's basically like a history of like role-playing games and like how the mechanics have changed, and we'll put it on like the downward cam.
Yeah,
but
I was curious. I heard about this a while ago, and I was curious to read it.
Yeah,
it's like a non-fiction book, right? Just about like the history of. I assume D&D is a big part of it.
Yes, for sure, and it's phenomenally drawn by Steens, who is the spouse of one of our managers.
And they do the Heart in the City comic.
They do, yes. Yeah. And I love their work. I love their style. And it's their character that's kind of guiding you through like the history as well. I love it when comics do that. And something that's cool about this book as well is that I think they actually have a campaign at the back of the book that you can do.
Oh yes, Steen's Quest. That's not the campaign.
That's not the campaign. It's just a cute little.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the book just straight up comes with a playable campaign in it.
Yes.
Oh man, we might. I know our buddy Dan was talking about maybe live streaming us playing the campaign. That would be a lot of fun. But there's a lot of logistics to work out if we were to do something. For sure.
But we are hoping to arrange an event with them and have Steens come to the store and be able to sign a bunch of books and stuff.
Yeah. They're I believe they're going to be at New York City Comic Con, which I think somebody else is going to be there too. Is that right?
Yes, I'll be at New York Comic Con next week.
Is it next week? Oh my gosh,
it's coming so fast.
Oh my gosh,
I still need to order my business cards.
Oh my gosh, you got to get on that. That takes time to ship.
I know. I'm just gonna have it shipped to my brother's.
I was about to say you're gonna just ship it to the con.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yes, for those who aren't going as well, we will actually be live streaming our panel. So I'll be doing a panel with Jacksepticeye and the creative director of like the Ultraverse series and like 2 of the writers, and I believe the other artist is joining us as well.
Which those are all comics that we have in the store right now.
We do. And so we'll be doing a live stream panel with all of us, and then we'll be doing a book signing at New York Comic Con as well. But we'll be promoting the stream and everything as soon as it happens on that Thursday around 6.
Well, very cool. So basically what you're saying is everybody should follow you on Instagram or where? Is that what you do?
Yes.
Are you on the gram? Are you on the gram?
The gram. Yes. I'll probably post it to the store page.
Are you going to cosplay?
I was tempted to, but I was nervous that I would be like the one person. Like we're going to dinner afterwards.
Yeah, you're gonna be at this panel and everybody's wearing like suits and nice clothes, and then
it's just gonna be me as like a weird character,
just like a giant inflatable T-Rex,
like my Doodle Bob. Yeah. I'm sitting next to like this big.
You know what? That Doodle Bob costume was choice though.
So good.
I'm a big fan of Doodle Bob. Well. All right. I think that's everything. We're out of time anyway. So that's everything that's coming out tomorrow. A lot of omnibuses and compendiums. But thanks everybody for tuning in,
She
checking
dropped
it
my
out.
Instagram.
Hey, there it is in the just click that
She's
link.
amazing.
Smash that like button, as the kids say. Follow Susie on Instagram. Keep up to date with all of her goings ons. And like our good friend Dan says, there's comics out there for everybody. If you can't get them from us here at Fantasy Books and Games, you can get them from somewhere, but you should definitely come and get them from us, because you can talk to me and sometimes Susie and sometimes Celeste about comics, because we like talking about comics. All right. And yes, I'll check on that Lee variant for you, Alex. I got you covered. All right, everybody, we're dipping out. Thanks. We will see y'all next time. Bye.